recording. All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce and Smithville Public Library class on building a WIX.com website. This series of free classes is been brought to us through the two organizations that I just introduced, as well as funding through the Texas State Library Archives Commission and the Institute of Museum and Library Services. April Daniels is unable to be here today, so my name is Anna Murray, and I will be filling in for April and also for Judy Bergeron, the director of the public library. They both are excited that this class is taking place and glad that you are tuning in. If you have any questions about classes that have taken place or are potentially being recorded or being offered in through the end of this month, don't hesitate to look at the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce website under events, and also you can always call the chamber or the library and talk with them directly. All right, so today's class is about creating a WIX website. So I am going to share my screen, and I'm already advanced on my slides. So again, my name is Anna Murray, and I run predominantly a social media management business called Sundance Expressions Marketing. I also build websites and provide businesses with print media marketing, such as posters, postcards, flyers, etc. So having built a couple of WIX websites, I was asked to teach this class. And so let me show you what we're going to get to today. Creating an account, choosing a template, customizing your website, using apps within WIX to add functionality, and also to publish your website and connecting to a domain host. This is a lot of information to cover within an hour, so I may be cruising over it pretty fast, but I hope ultimately that the information provided here helps you in your endeavors with your websites. Now, what I have on the screen here is pre-loaded. It's simply typing in wix.com to start building a website. If you already have an account, then you will need to sign in. If you do not, then you would need to create an account. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. If you sign up, you would type in your email. They'll ask you to type it again, password, and then you sign up. You will need to be able to access your email so that you can verify that it's actually you, and then come back and then get moving forward. I already have a website with WIX, so let me go to that page. I'll show it to you from the top. This is the live version of my page. I have the title, my tagline, and these are the different pages that I have set up. Of course, here is my information and different pages that I can link to. It's a pretty basic website. And the idea is to have a landing page for people that are searching for my business to find out more about the services that I provide and what I do. This is not a good thing, but I don't update much very often unless my prices are changing or my services change. And I'm going to tell you up front that can impact my SEO. Pages that are updated often tend to generate movement within the backside of the Google searches and other URL host sites. So I'm not an SEO expert, but from what I've read, it is important to perform those tasks of updating your website, especially if you're selling items or you have pictures that you can update on a regular basis. I apologize if I disappoint you on that, but that's the truth. Okay, so I've logged in, and before I actually get moving, I've already gotten ahead of myself. For those that are not familiar with WIX, there are a lot of website hosts out there, and WIX is a very user-friendly website builder. I researched, when I chose Wix, I researched quite a few different website hosts, and I settled on Wix because it was one of the higher ranking. And there's another one out there that I'm not going to mention in this training that I'm not comfortable with based on the technicalities of it. There are plenty of people that love many from multiple areas. So you're here for Wix. What I really enjoy about it is it's user-friendly. There's the drag and drop options. You can resize easily. You can select a template when you go to build your site, or you can actually go in and they have an ADI creator. So it'll ask you some questions as you sign up. It's an AI technology. So you answer questions and it builds a website based on, or basically a template for you based on the information that you answer or provide in the questions. For me, I had a general idea of what I wanted. I've looked around at different websites and this is what I came up with. And so this is a template based, but it just gave me a blank slate with the different pictures. Like here, you'll see that there's the blue at the top, a place for my logo. And then of course, adding the different pages that self-populates, and then the picture to the left, etc. So the general design came from a template that I was able to adjust to fit my visual needs. So there are tons of templates. There's e-commerce functionality. There's built-in hosting. So I created established my domain name through GoDaddy. And so when I created my Wix website, I was able to connect my domain name to Wix. I did not have to host through Wix. It's just something that I started from the beginning. And I'm going to say from the get-go, anytime I've needed support from Wix, they've been very, very helpful. I have communicated with the company through email, through chat, Messenger on Facebook of all things, and they've been incredibly responsive. So I'm a big supporter, and I will shout to the masses, Wix is a good website host. So with that, creating the account, again, I've shown you that quickly. When you create your account, your first option is to either allow the Wix ADI to create a website for you. Remember, you have to answer questions, and the key is to be able to give them or answer the questions specifically, clearly to what meets your needs. Or you can actually build your own from a template. Again, this is a template that I chose. And I'm going to go over here now and go to this page. So reviewing a few things, if you already have a page built, or if you are in the process of building a page, there are these elements to the left on the side toolbar. I can add all kinds of information I can add a strip to the top or in the middle. I can add text. I can add images. If I just hover over, I'm not selecting anything. I'm simply hovering over each of these options. If I select image or text, I'm a little behind. There's image. I can scroll over to things I've already uploaded, which is here. I can go to the different collections, which Wix provides to you for free or part of your subscription, or I can go into the socials here. Now, one thing I want to point out from the beginning is you can create a Wix website for free. It will not allow you to use a good domain name or a URL. So mine is Sundance Expressions. If I don't pay for a subscription to host the website, it's going to come up with my name, my business name, sundanceexpressions.wix.mysite. It's not something that you want in promoting your business or organization. So I can select free images and selecting this button as it loads. No results could be found. That's funny. That's very funny. Not really. That this is, I'm doing something wrong. I have to be. There's no way that that's the case. I've seen the images before. So I apologize for that. So they are there. Images are here. Here are images that I've uploaded before. If I choose, I'm kind of afraid maybe my internet connection is a little slow, because I definitely have images on my site. Well, my goodness. Well, that's always fun in a class. You're showing people how to use something and it doesn't let you. So let me just go back to the add button. I can add these areas. I can go to the menu page on the elements on the left. Here I have my site menu, which is my home page, and all the pages that are on my website. You can see that the podcast services, about, they populate here to the right. If I want to change the name, I would select this multi-dot button, or I would double click and I could change the name to menu, done, and it changes it automatically. Not often do we need to change that name, but as we are building, think about how you want that to look and what you want on your menu bar. A lot of times when we're building websites, it's important for us to, or any kind of information that we're putting out there, we want to build a template, maybe even sketch it out on a piece of paper. How do you want it to look? Look at other like websites. What do you like about one website that you would maybe like to incorporate in your own? So if you don't feel like you have that creativity to start from scratch. The other areas, this is being very interesting today. At the very top, I think we lost someone coming back in. At the very top under page, you can also see there is the word home with a drop down button. So I can select one of my pages here. So selecting the page I want to go to at the top populates the page, and now I'm on the dashboard and I can make any adjustments. I can also do that from this plus on the left. I'm sorry, from the menus and pages on the left. I can go to the different pages and notice how it changes in the background behind the bar that I'm working on. When I want to make any edits in this area, I click in this area to make that bar go back, that toolbar of information. So again, here's the menu and pages. I want to edit my home page. I select, not just hover, I select, and then I click on the outside. And if I wanted to edit this area, notice how a blue bar or box populates around this content. I'm double clicking, which takes me directly to the text, and I can edit it there just like I would with a Word document or a Google Doc. Or I can select the edit text option here, and then it allows me the same options. I have set the theme as paragraph 3. They're just preset options. If I chose paragraph 1, well, that you can see it by default changes the font, changes the font size, and other things as well. So I'm going to go back to paragraph 3. It's just an option that I had chosen. I can change the font either by clicking that number 16 to 16 and typing in a number, and when I click out, it should adjust. There you go. Or go back to the, that would be incredibly large. Probably not something I'd want. Or I can take this bar and toggle down to the size that I like. You can see that I had chosen the size 16 font. If I want to check to see how this is looking on the live site, I can come over to the button at the top right-hand corner and select preview, and it gives me a live version. Don't be alarmed that that was hidden, because I have a scroll set up to where my name of my business is always showing. So I can scroll all this information and it kind of disappears underneath. So again, I had selected to preview. I had not published anything. So any changes I made anywhere, even if I made a mistake, no problem, nothing happened on the live side. So I can go back to editor, or you can see I had the option to publish. If I select publish, I'm having fun with this today. If I select publish, oh my goodness. Great for a class. It shows that I am logged in. Okay. I will get an option to preview or done. It will go live. I work on websites through my day job as well. And what I like to do is have an option where I've always got the live version up, and I can simply refresh and I can see the changes without going through the hoops of going to the publish. I honestly do not know why I keep getting the I'm not signed in when I clearly am. I tell you what, see what I can do here. Make one quick change here. See if that helps. Let's go to log in. I haven't been able to save that information there. Let's get logged back in. I'm going to blame the internet, because the internet cannot defend itself, right? Okay. Let's see if that fixed the problem. Preview, back to editor. I'm going to save. Excellent. Your changes are saved. Thank you. Thank you. Follow the directions on the screen, by the way. That's one of the takeaways from today. If something as advanced as this gives you a screen information direction, follow it. So changes are saved. Here is my domain name. I want to publish, although no changes were made. And then it gives me another chance to either select done or view site. Okay. So again, if you want to edit anything from a picture to text, be sure you're on the page you want to edit and select. And you notice the tools that show up when I selected that picture. I could change the image, which the wonderful thing about sites like WIX, if I select change image, it's going to give me an option to go to my WIX editor in the background and upload an image to the dashboard on the back side. I do recommend that you always add your alt tagging. I have a new pup if you hear that noise in the background. I don't know what in the world is going on today. Changing the image, again, you can upload to your editor. I'm connected. I don't know what that's about. And when you do, you want to be sure and make sure that you have, what is this image? That is not a good name for my image. It should be Anna and Sundays. That's my alt tag. That is good for people that have the visual. Why in the world did I forget what that's called? But basically you have you're having trouble hearing me. Well, Robin, I am so sorry. Let me turn up my volume. Hopefully that helps. And I'll chat back to you. Okay. All right. Going back in here, let me see what I have. I want to change the page, go into services. I have added text boxes and added information. If I want to move, say I wanted to move my social media management over to the middle and move event flyers and posters over, I simply wait for my 4 directional arrow and I drag it where I need it. And again, this is a more of a basic website. It's not image heavy. So moving things, you click on it and drag it to where you want it to be. Now, say I totally move this where I don't want it to be. All I need to do is, and I don't want to panic, I just want to breathe and say, how do I go back to where I was originally? I can go to this little rounded back arrow and it'll take me through the whole process of all the changes that I made. And now I'm good. So I don't need to worry about that. All right. All right, Robin, I'm glad that helped a little bit. I'm sorry about the sound. The other thing is I want to show you is when you're looking at your website, when you're designing it, or when you're managing it, you have other tools available to you, such as this mobile view up at the top. This is much more important today than it was just a few years ago because so many of us are so dependent upon searches through these things, these mobile devices. So you can simply select the image that looks like a mobile phone, and it gives you the mobile version of what that page looks like. So if I wanted to go to my home page, I don't have to go back to the desktop. I can stay in this dashboard and go to the home page, and it's going to shift everything. And now I can look at the mobile version of my website the way it looks. So that's nice and handy when you have when you need to be able to work from both angles. The other thing that I will mention is that with your mobile version, when you're making edits, so if I wanted to edit this text, maybe I wanted to make it smaller, or maybe I wanted to move this completely, or maybe I wanted to cut down on some of this that's too wordy on a mobile version. I want it to go straight to a menu. If I were to remove this feature, it's not going to impact my desktop version. So it's 13 pixels here. I'm going to save that. I'm going to publish it. Jump through those hoops. I'm going to go to switch to the desktop. And if I select the edit text again, you can see I'm still set at 16. So it allows you that functionality to be independent on each site, but taking the majority of the information so you can remove things from your mobile that will not impact what is on your desktop. If you remove it from your desktop, it will remove it by default from the mobile. Okay. What else can I share with you today? Menus and pages. If you want to add a page, what I love about this is it's right there. Click on a button, select a button, and you get so many options. I could rearrange these pages simply by dragging. All I did was click and drag, and you can see how it realigns the order of the pages on the actual website. And I can move it back because I want it back. No changes, no problem. I can even select page transitions. Does everything fly in? Does it come from the top? Does it come from the bottom? Or do I just want it to be present? One of the things I think about when I'm adding things to a website is what is the loading rate going to be for the user? So smaller pictures, not too many pictures, but the right amount of pictures that give your viewer the information you want them to see. And of course, we do need to use pictures, especially when we're in a wedding venue or an art gallery. People want to see what you have to offer, and the pictures are so much more descriptive than words many, many times. But if we have too many, it can decrease the load rate, especially for people that are in rural areas that don't have a great signal. So you can manage the picture, color, the theme. There's so much that you can do on your page to make it site-wide. It doesn't have to just be on this page because you want to keep your information consistent. You can change your background. You can go from a color, like I have chosen, to a full image if you wanted to. You can also add video. This is another piece that takes up a little bit more load time. Just be aware of that. But at the same time, you need to put on your website what appeals to your potential client or audience. Other apps that you can add, some are free, some you have to pay for. One of the things that I enjoy about WIX is that there's a ton of things that you can choose from. And again, some are free, some are not. If you wanted to add a blog about your business or about a particular topic, you can do that. You can see here that it's free. And then let's see, what is this? If you wanted to add bookings, so if you obviously you needed to wanted to use this as a venue for hosting that information, you would be prepared to pay $17 a month. So it all depends on what you want and what you want to add. Again, they're very user-friendly. Well, there's my media. I told you I had media. So there's my media. And then of course, if I wanted to add some items that are not included for free, then there's the cost of it. And then I can also upload my own media from my own files, which is very nice. Another area I wanted to show you, something that people use a lot are these different buttons. Buttons can be your theme, how you want things to show up on your page. And these come in as just images and boxes and like a text box, and you adjust. And then you also have options like PayPal. So if you have a PayPal account, I know there's more out there now than just PayPal. But if you wanted to add a payment for something, maybe you have a membership or you're selling an item, you can add your PayPal button and then link it to your PayPal account for that actual product. There are other options, such as selling the merchandise. I know I've set up a page for a client that had multiple items for sale. We didn't want to use a PayPal button because we would have had to set up a PayPal button for every item they sold. And the first page they put up, they had about 15 items for sale. Instead, we created the store, and then you built it almost like it's separate, like a separate page, and it was all into one account, which was really nice. Over here, there are so many areas that you can play with updating the view, the visuals that you have on your page to meet your goals, from shapes to lines to arrows. You want something that's interactive, list, all of these things are, when you click on them, they just add a box to your page and then you move it to where you want it. So let me see what I have on the social. So if I wanted to add a link to maybe a YouTube account, I would select social. I am hovering, I'm not clicking when these things show up. I'm just hovering. If I want to select, I can either select social or I can scroll, just move my mouse over. Now I'm going to add, and it tells me I've just hovered. Again, no clicking, just drag and drop. So I click, and there it is, the whole bar. So I want to set all of these. I want to put the account of each of these, and I'm going to want to change this layout. I can choose vertical, horizontal. And if I just want to add the YouTube and not all of these others, well, this one's not for me. So I can either undo, or I can right click and I can cut it. So I'm going to undo. I'm going to go back to this bar. I'm going to find my socials. That's right. I needed to read. This has actually a social bar, a bar of socials. So I need to read better. And look, here's Facebook. What's nice about this is more of a like a widget that actually would add your Facebook stream into your page. So when someone goes to your website, they'll see that you not only have a Facebook account or Facebook page, I should say, but it'll also see your most recent post. It's just another way to give them that opportunity to follow you, etc. So here's the YouTube one. I can come in and I can click, I clicked it. I could have dragged and dropped, but that's what I had right there. I'm going to undo that and check the chat. Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you, Max. Removing the social bar icons for the ones you don't use. Fantastic. I built this about 5 years ago, and you can see I just put my little Facebook right here, and it does read social bar. It's just been 5 years since I've done that. So thank you for adding that. So basically, when you sign in, to your account, what you're going to see is this page here. This is your dashboard. You can see this is titled as website 2 because I had one that I had initially worked with. I didn't like it. I started over and it just defaulted website 2. That is not the name of my website. It's just, this is the actual dashboard that I'm working on for this site. Once I'm here, here is my account. This is where I can check on my account settings. I can check either my mailbox, my billing history. This is where I can also get help. This is my profile area. Another area here is my inbox. Click that, suck that out. Notifications. Pretty much my notifications are when WIX sends me some information. Of course, they are a profit business, so they're going to try to encourage me to purchase some additional items from them, or accessories, if you will, or supplemental things that I can add to my website if I choose. This is where I'll be notified if there are any specials running, which I love it when there are specials. You never know when you can get something for a little discount, which is nice. And then of course, the new releases, I can tell that things have changed just here in the last couple of months, which is pretty nice to be connected to a company that is constantly improving and upgrading their platform. It's always good for the end user, which that's who we are. And of course, we want to stay up to date for our potential and current clients. And then of course, there's the inbox as well. I also have on this dashboard other areas that I can go into and look at. Marketing, the SEO is one of them, getting found on Google and the SEO tools. One of the nice things about WIX is that they have features to help you by default that you can sign on to. And then there's the self-help where they will lead you without you having to pay anything extra. I do want to jump back over here real quick and show you something about your pages on your site menu. So again, remember, I can use this to toggle between the different pages, see it changing in the background behind the toolbar here. I have the option of selecting these 3 dots. Now I had to click it. And if I select settings, SEO basics, social share, all these things take me somewhere else. So I want to look at SEO basics. You see, I have page information. The name on this menu is home. It is my home page. Here's the layout. It's standard. My permissions, everyone. I could also set up a password holders or a members only page. That's how you allow people that, again, that are members, pay something to be a part of an organization. You can have a page where password holders or members only, they would have their own login that they could have access to that. But if you were not a member, of course, you would not have access to that. So then there's basics. So for the SEO, getting found, they have a whiz, SEO whiz. So it's a step-by-step plan. You also, for each page, can set up your SEO statement. It's the information that people find or see when they type in, say, social media manager, or art gallery, or a chamber near me. It's going to pull up information in their area. And then underneath that title, once you get past all the ads on these searches, then you'll see that little paragraph that kind of describes what the page has, so that it basically encourages individuals to click on your page. So be thinking when you're doing Google searches, and I say Google by default, when you're searching on Bing or Foxfire, Firefox, Mozilla, then your listing from the search results is going to have titles of the website, and it's also going to have that description. What does your description say? Maybe search for like businesses and see what they're writing. Why are they at the top? Again, from my understanding and research with SEO, one of the things that helps is when you update your website. So if you, again, are an event venue or a brick and mortar store, updating your website, it's just like any other web-based business page on social media. If the more you're posting, the more opportunity to be seen, see and be seen. It's interesting how it's hard to view websites that way, because they seem like they're just that comfortable, steady place, where Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are those free-flowing sites. But SEO, from my experience, operates similar on the basic level of the more you're there, the more you're updating, the better search opportunity you'll have. And of course, there's a lot of technical side. You have this option for SEO basics, just the basics, for each of your pages. So I added a page about 5 or 6 months ago. I started a podcast in February or March. I took a little bit of a hiatus the last couple of months, but on this page, I know that I don't have any information for the SEO. So I need to update that. So if anyone's looking for a podcast on how to help small businesses just get out there, get started, etc., I need to put some information there to help people find the page. Otherwise, it's just another web page out there. The services, each of these pages, I need to write in here what makes this page unique. So it's not just your main SEO description, but it's for each of your pages. So didn't I do a nice job of showing you what that should look like? Exactly. You can see that the description on the About page, I do have the SEO search information there, but I do not have it on all my pages. So I need to update my own page. So that's a basic there. And then you can get into the advanced side of SEO. Apparently I cannot. What is my deal today? There it goes. And folks, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not know, outside of a search that I did earlier on the JSON LD code. That is deeper than me. So I hope I didn't disappoint you with that. Let's see. Let me check this real quick. Okay, so Robin has a question. When we receive a message from the website, we receive an email in your account. You answer those through that account. Is there a way the site knows someone has already answered those messages? Oh, so what has happened is that has been set up, because if you're not always checking your website for your inbox, it was linked to an email that is used more frequently. So the question is, I believe, right as I click out of that, is there a way to know? So it sounds like you have multiple users. You know, I don't share. Let's see, someone has an answer here. Okay, yes. Okay, so you confirmed in the chat that the email is set up that is received through the website to go to that Gmail account. No, if someone's just checking the website inbox and someone is answering through the Google, to my knowledge, they are not linked to show that it's been answered. So at least that's my experience. I honestly, when I have it linked in, I don't even check the website. Sorry about that, but thank you for asking. Let's see. And what else can I tell you? Let me check my notes real quick. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I may have mentioned earlier, as I'm going through my notes, I want to make sure I mention something. When you're setting up your page, there are hundreds of templates that you can choose from. For anyone out there that's creating a website, you can start with a blank template, or excuse me, a blank page, and just go from there and add all the things that you want, from a header, color, pictures, how it moves. And if you notice when I change from page to page, how they just kind of morph into the page, it could just be static initially, but I kind of liked a little bit of movement. It just helps with catching attention. Going in between the services and about and things of that nature. I just wanted to keep it simple. And again, I didn't want too many pictures, although when I have over here my portfolio, this is where I've added some of the posters that I've created, and then there are some videos that I've created in the past, just to let people see them. The nice thing about these videos, you'll notice that YouTube, this is a tip, this is linked, these videos were stored on the YouTube account. Linking the account to this page helps the end user with loading. Having this on my YouTube page or channel is better for the user experience, because if you have video hosting on your website, first and foremost, many times, unless you just have deep pockets, and your subscription can be larger for how much data your site can host, it will fill up your allowed space. And also, when it's not linked to YouTube, it can slow down the individual's viewing of your video. So you have to think about that. I recommend that people, if they have a YouTube account, which is if they have a Google account, they have a YouTube account, creating that channel, storing videos there, and then letting people go to that YouTube channel to watch the video. It's a much better user experience. Oh, wonderful. Yes. And when you guys, I just saw Max's statement about having videos made showcasing your venue. And the really nice part about that is once you establish that YouTube channel, then anytime you put a video there, it's there. So individuals can start seeing the double more of your videos as you add. And here's the other thing. Here's a Google trick, if you will, that's really made me a Google convert. Google will help your SEO reach through videos through YouTube, because Google owns YouTube. YouTube, the way it is set up, and just a few months ago when I was researching the updates on how they search your video with overlays of language. So if you have content and it's not just a visual, but if it's content based and you're talking, it actually got AI, artificial intelligence, that goes in and automatically reads your script. It's crazy. It can read your script that you don't type in based on the artificial intelligence of listening to your video and then helping that increase your search engine optimization for your whatever. YouTube is a search engine. It's amazing what Google has done helping you get your business out there. They're not leaving it to us to learn how as much as they're trying to help, because it's good for their business as well. Okay, that may have been very confusing and hard to understand, but the nice part about it is Google through YouTube helps with your SEO. I wish they helped more with our websites too, but that's a whole nother story. The other thing that they do, let me go back to the dashboard. You can see that I've got a couple of pages open. When you sign in initially, this is the look that you get. Once you select Edit Site, it takes you to another tab. So this is the tab. I've just got it covered up with themes. This is the tab that opens up to your home page. So you actually have the dashboard tab. Keep hitting the zoom bar. And then you also have your dashboard. This is where you can do all the work to upgrade, update, add, edit, change pictures. But that dashboard page is still available for you as well, so that you have other options. Okay, let's see. The chat. Yes, when you have websites linked, it does help the algorithm. Yes, you're correct. YouTube, yes. And to be quite honest, if I can sneak a little comment in, I think I might have mumbled through that, but it looks like you understood what I was agreeing to. If I can add a little bit of social media in for you here, if you have a social media page, please understand that Facebook and Google, or I should say YouTube, Google, are direct competitors. Many times businesses and organizations want to add video to Facebook because video is huge in the social world. And if you do any kind of, if you spend any kind of time on social media, you know this. But when you load a video directly to Facebook, you're going to have better reach on your Facebook social than if you took that YouTube link and added it to your Facebook post. It's just because they're direct competitors. Doesn't mean it won't work. It just, Facebook doesn't help you organically as well. So those are things that you need to think about. You may be able to still do it. It's okay to do it because you're also wanting people to see your YouTube channel. Just understand that organic reach is not going to be as strong. And even the paid reach won't be as strong, but it's still going to get out there. Social is social. So another thing to consider with that is if you're on your Facebook page for your business or organization and you have that video on your homepage of your website, or you're trying to promote a separate page of your website, add that URL to a posting on social that'll take you to your website. Facebook doesn't mind that as much as they do when you try to link directly to YouTube. Again, that's a whole nother story. And it shouldn't hurt too many of us too badly, especially if we have a pretty good social following. Putting your Google reviews like a widget on your page, encouraging your clients to give you a review. That's also going to help your SEO because it's activity on your page. So if you're thinking, how am I going to have a dynamic website when I may not be changing my images or my information very much? Have those types of additional widgets where you have your Facebook widget, you go in and you put a schedule together where you go in and adjust your images every 2 or 3 months. You're wanting to get people to understand different ideas for the seasons, opportunities that may be more likely in the winter than they are in the summer, and vice versa. So there are ways to update your website. Mine is not a great example of that, although you wouldn't know that if you've never been here. But on this website, mine is an information website. It is, right now, I'm not out trying to drum up 20 more clients. So I'll stop talking because I tend to continue talking. All right, good deal. I appreciate your comment back on it making sense. One of the most incredible things about getting out on the internet, whether it's on a website or it's on socials, and when I say socials, I'm talking about those platforms that are the list goes on forever, but we know mostly Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, etc. Getting out there, being seen where your audience, where your clients are. And of course, I know both of the participants today are chamber members. I cannot shout out enough about the importance of being chamber members. Chambers will help spread the word. Their job is to support businesses and organizations that are a part of a community, that are part of their membership mostly. And when you become a member, get your information to your chamber, find out what your chamber does. And I know our chamber, of course, I'm linked to the chamber, I'm on the board of the chamber, but our chamber does a really nice job of, if you have a sale going on or an event going on, send that information to April Daniels at the chamber, and she will send it out in an e-blast. It'll go in the local newspapers. It'll go on their socials, and that also helps get information out about your business, your organization. Okay, that was my shameless plug for the chamber. My hope is that there was information that you could use on this hour that you dedicated to me today. I will tell you, how did I do that again? There we go. If you have questions that you feel like I can help you with based on something I might have mentioned or stated and I didn't get to go in deep enough, do not hesitate to email me or to call me. You're welcome to text me. Just please identify who you are. I get spam calls and text, but ultimately I'm here to help you. Your chamber is here to help you. And I know that the public library is that information source. So let's see here. We have one more chat. Let me see. The question, of course, I'm reading in silence here. There's a statement question. We just decided to offer 10% off any Bastrop County business that decides to have an event at our venue. That's fantastic. And I'm going to send that to April. Good job. Thank you. Get that out there. I promise you, it'll be everywhere. So, and if you had a page pulled up a minute ago that showed your website's SEO keywords, can you talk for a second about how or well, let me go back to that. I have to get smarter on how to utilize my I'm getting there, I promise. But for some reason, there we go. Let me get back to my, goodness gracious, you get to look at me now. Okay. Go here. Y'all are so patient. Thank you so much. Yes, you are very kind. So, okay, I'm going to go to my pages and I'm going to go to the information for my SEO. The request was to bring this keywords in here. Is this the area you were talking about in your question about my keywords? Let me get you. Oh, I skipped, oh, from here? Bless your heart. You are welcome to unmute yourself and tell me where I was if you want.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I sure can.
Oh, okay. I haven't been muted this whole time. Okay, great. Yeah, it was, you just had it pulled up. I didn't quite catch which tab it was. They were like at the top of the page, like right below like the header of the page, and they were pretty small.
I wasn't on the, I definitely wasn't here.
No.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. You might have navigated off of it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. All right, let me go to menu here.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, if I select this, it's going to open up this larger section here.
Right. It wasn't here. It was like none of your menus were open. It was just one of the pages off the dashboard here, I think.
So you think it was one of these?
I think so. Gosh, we were just there. There it is. Yeah. See it right below where it says keywords.
Oh, keywords. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they let you choose 5, I believe. And
Yes.
I was just hoping you could explain why you went with the ones you did, and what you know about how those keywords affect the way that I don't even really know how they work, because I know that it's got to be similar to like the alt text that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like it helps those keywords are what Google's algorithm uses to find, and they pull it off your website so that if somebody types in freelance video, that's one of your keywords, your website is more likely to pop up. Right. So I understand that part of it, but I just thought maybe you could talk about why you chose those ones, or what all you know about that.
Okay, that's fair enough. And I appreciate your clarification in helping me get back to this place. So yeah. I went ahead and selected the edit, and it takes me down. I actually didn't, I have to add, I didn't fill in a location because I want this to be everywhere potentially. I don't want to be just locked into my demographic area.
So I guess just about that, does the location, if you do put in a location, would that limit people finding you to ones that are near that location? Is that what that does?
I don't think so. It just helps when it's near me. Right. And I'm still kind of jockeying with that, if you will, because my goal in my business, my long-term goal is not, I don't want people to think, oh, they can only hire me if they're in Bastrop County, or I'm only available to, like, I'm not a plumber. I wouldn't go to Florida if I was a plumber, but with social media, you can work anywhere. So, and I also, is, naivety, I probably should put my address or my location in there. I just have not. You bring up a very, very valid point. When we are searching either on socials or websites, when it's near me, you bring up an excellent point that I need to adjust this, because I am near people. So if they are looking for someone near them, I'm probably not popping up in their search by default, simply because I don't have Smithville, Texas, or Bastrop County or Bastrop, Texas listed. So that's a very good point. As far as your question about the keywords, I literally, when I started my business, I have not updated this section here in 5 years. Oh, okay. So I was very green behind the ears then, or more so, but I went to other like websites, and who came up first? What were their keywords? I know that I work in social media. I know it's also considered digital marketing to some extent. And then when I got into making some of these little videos, I thought I need to add that as part of the keyword. So I looked at the main things that I provide in my business, and I listed them that way. So number one, at the end of the day, social media is the number one thing I do. And, there's nothing here on websites, but I could add it. So I don't recall back in the day there being that little option at the bottom right-hand corner to watch now how to learn how to pick the right keywords.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about this particular website host is that they're constantly upgrading. In the last couple of years, when I have built websites for different organizations or businesses, I see new things all the time, which really is empowering to know that I've signed on with a company that is dynamic.
Sure.
And
So,
Robin just added, let me add this real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Robin added that she revised a business website in town that she works on, Mosaic Art and Home. When she updated or revised the keywords, it helped with the number of hits on the page. So that's an excellent point to bring up too. It's probably something I should play with a little bit.
Cool. I was just going to say, I think I'm just going off my own memory here. I don't have my website pulled up, but I think our keywords are like wedding venue, event venue, lodging, and then I think I used the word Smithville as a keyword just because that's where we're located. Do you recommend using the name of the city as a keyword, or should I maybe try something else there? Because I think under the location part, I also have Smithville and Bastrop County as our location. Do you know if those, if it was a Venn diagram, do those overlap at all, or I don't know.
Venn diagram, you're talking to the educator heart that I have. I would say that you would definitely want to designate that it's Smithville, Texas, because there are quite a few Smithvilles in other states have Smithvilles. So
Okay.
bring it home. You know, I think Robin brings up a very good point. We should update our SEO keywords to help with the SEO, or our keywords to help with the SEO.
Yeah.
And what's going on right now? You know, are weddings more likely to occur certain months of the year when maybe it's corporate event or corporate banquet or banquets, you know, maybe adding the word banquet, if that's a term that's used in your industry still, or if I'm aging myself badly.
No, I think that's a good idea for sure.
Yeah, and let's see, and Robin says she did add Bastrop County, so that's good. Or she would say add Bastrop County. That's interesting with the socials too. I've noticed with social accounts that are reaching across, like the Explore Bastrop County, they are trying to promote Bastrop County, but they're putting hashtags, which to me is like a keyword, a hashtag of Austin TX. And I'm thinking, you're promoting Bastrop, but you're hashtagging Austin, Texas. And then it clicked, of course, because people who are searching for Austin potentially are going to see the Bastrop County, explore Bastrop County.
Right.
So
right.
I think any opportunity to kind of edge, you know, get through that crowd and put that shoulder in a little bit and squeeze in between two and move up to the front a little bit, if it helps, it doesn't hurt. I think one of the things for me with website management, obviously even with my own page, is trying to stay on top of keeping it up current and changing those things. And it's a dedication for sure. It's a commitment anyway to getting your page out there. But I'm excited that you both asked questions and added to, and I so appreciate y'all being here, and you've helped me. I need to go in and update some things on my own page. And if y'all have any other questions, please feel free to ask. Y'all have been great.
Would you mind showing your contact info one more time? I'd love to write it down.
Certainly. Now you're challenging me. I have to remember how to do all this. Okay. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Sir. To get you a screenshot with your phone. That's my cheat. I'm going to thank you all, and I'm going to ask you to hang on just for a second, but I'm going to stop the sharing. And again, I appreciate you all being here. If April were here, she would tell you to be sure and go to the Smithville area chamber website, go over to www.smithvilletx.org and check them out. There are all kinds of events coming up, great opportunities to get involved and learn and grow, always coming from the chamber. I'm going to say thank you again to our sponsors, who are the Texas State Library Archives Commission, the Institute of Museum and Library Sciences, the Smithville Public Library, and the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce. There are a couple more classes that are already scheduled through the end of this month. Be sure and head over to the website and check those out, and you'll have a good day.
Thank you so much, Ms. Anna.